Well, the Craftsman Drill Press is ready to be reassembled. All the parts have been degreased, cleaned, and where required, repainted. As I said in part one, when the thing is completely assembled, it's just way too heavy. I can't lift it. So as it's not in its final resting place, I will need to disassemble it a little bit to actually move it. But while it's on the workbench, I'm going to I want to test fit the quill spindle in place to make sure it all still lines up and works. So that's what we're going to do now. As you probably remember from part one, there are some damaged teeth here on the quill. Now this is the depth stop clamp, and what I've done is I've literally moved it up slightly so that it is not, it would normally be flush with the bottom of the quill, but I've moved it up slightly, which stops the pinion from engaging in these broken teeth. So the pinion will engage on this teeth, but it won't go any lower than that. So now we're going to attempt to fit this in the actual press, and for that I will also need the pinion. So let's rotate this round a bit, and we can come down to, I think, so basically this should hopefully fit up in there with a bit of luck. Okay, I've got it started, so I should nicely go all the way up. There we go. Right, now this goes in from the other side here. Just, there we go. Yes. Just there we go. Right. Now obviously there's no spring on it at the moment, but let me rotate this around a bit. You get the idea. What will happen is, as I wind it up, it reaches the stop here, so it doesn't engage with the damaged teeth on the on the quill, and hopefully that will spin nicely. Yeah, look at that. So that's all okay. Now I've got the quill lock. I need to try that. So one of, basically you have these two bushes that go in here. One is threaded, one is clearance hole. So that one goes in that side like that. That one goes in that like that. And then the quill lock lever slides through that one. And hopefully we'll screw into that one. There we go. And then I can raise this up, and then I should be able to lock it in place like that. Now obviously without the quill spring on, the weight of the quill and spindle will simply rotate the pinion, so if I loosen this off it should drop. Should. There we go. So that's obviously okay. So now all we need to do is just check the depth stop. And the depth stop fits nicely in here. It goes on there like that. And then we have, oh, not quite gone through. Just to slide up over that. Let's raise this up a little bit. Lock it in place. And then we can pop the nut on. I mean, all this cleaned up really nicely. I was really pleased with the way it all cleaned up. It was hard work, but it's you know, not a problem, and actually all cleaned up superbly. So that's that. Obviously I'm not going to put this on now, but we've still got to locate and fix the coil spring goes on there like that. That's still got to be fixed on, but I can do that when it's actually in place, and obviously so has the handles and the motor mount. But no, it's all looking quite good. So let's take this around. And also my headlock lever, which I had to make all this because this was missing. That seems to be working fine. So yeah, we're pretty much good to go. Now I'm going to have to take most of this apart again now so that I can actually get it to a state where I can lift it. But then hopefully we can put it where it's supposed to go, and it will be working. Well, we finally got there. Here's the Craftsman Drill Press finished and in its place on the bench where it's going to reside. I'm missing some 7/16 bolts and nuts and washers which I need to bolt it to the bench. They're on their way from eBay, so that's why there is a G-clamp currently holding it onto the bench. But that is roughly where it's going to go. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. It turned out very well indeed. When I was cleaning up the motor, I was not at all happy with the wiring. There was an awful lot of electrical insulating tape wrapped around the wires which went into the motor. And as I had to fit the NVR switch, and they didn't actually have any kind of a switch to allow you to operate it at all. It was just a mains lead coming straight out of the motor. And good job I did too, because when I unwrapped the insulating tape, the wires were just twisted together. So it's all been rewired now, proper terminals and everything. So that's a definite improvement. The other thing that was really fortuitous, which I'd forgotten about basically, was I was actually able to move the depth stop clamp back down to the bottom of the quill, because I'd forgotten that the depth stop actually has a spring mounted, it's kind of like a dampener on it at the bottom, which you can clearly see here, and it stops the quill from going all the way up anyway. So that is enough to keep the quill away from the pinion, the damaged teeth on the rack on the quill away from the pinion. So that actually worked out. That worked out really well. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. And let's get it running so you can see it running. And it's very, very silent. I was surprised. I mean, obviously it's all been greased and oiled and everything, but yeah, it's very quiet. Not sure whether I've got the spring tension quite right yet on the quill. That's easy enough. You just loosen off the bolts on this side where the spring is and wind that round a bit more, and it'll give you slightly stronger tension on the spring. But yeah, it runs a treat. The chuck was a bit stiff, and I've had it soaking. Basically, I've just had keep oiling. I've kept oiling it and allowed the oil to run through, and it's freed it up quite a lot, but it still needs a little bit of work. But yeah, the rest of it works fine. So let's just switch over to the handheld mode. There's a different view looking at the back, where you can see the motor. The plate that I've got my NVR switch on is not really stiff enough. I'm going to have to remake that because it does tend to vibrate a bit when the thing is running. But no, I'm very pleased with how it turned out. It was a lot of hard work. It's probably taken me about 2 weeks in total to get this finished. But no, it's turned out really, really well, and it's going to be an absolutely massive asset to the workshop. Yeah, you can see here the headlock handle that I made, and that seems to work quite well. It's the NVR switch. Just used one of the motor mounts bolts to hold that in place, but like I said, it's just a little bit too flimsy, and it tends to vibrate when the thing's running, as you can see here. I'll turn it on again. Yeah, a little bit of shake. I think a stiffer plate will stop that. No problem at all. So there you go. Very, very pleased with that Rust-Oleum combi colour paint. That turned out excellent. So far it's proved it takes a while to dry, but it's proved to be quite a hard finish. Quite pleased with that. Well, that's it for the Craftsman Drill Press. Hopefully now we can get back to some steam engines. It's 2 weeks this has taken me to do this. And I've got a big stack of steam engines that need restoring and videos to make on them and so forth and so on. So, and hopefully the Craftsman here will be a lot of help when it comes to doing the restoration on these engines. Anyway, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers.